Hey guys, it's Rich from Alchemy, and I'm here to talk to you guys about something a little different. It's some heartbreaking truths of being a tattoo artist, and I don't really want to be rude to people, but somehow my industry is making a lot more money than what people think, or maybe it's making a lot less money in all reality than what people think. The math don't math. You can make so much per hour, and then you got to work 40 hours a week, but then you got to design tattoos, so that's not tattoo time. Me and this other owner of a different business, barbershop business, started talking. He's like, well, you guys are doing great, tattooing's banging. I'm like, we're definitely coming down off of a really good time for being a tattoo artist, but I wouldn't say it's banging. It's definitely one of the worst busy seasons I've seen in a long time. It's slow, technically. He's like, no, bro, just your shop. I'm like, no, I talk to a lot of people. I talk to supply companies. I talk to a lot of people all the time, and the industry's in a little bit of a lull. It happens. I'm sure there's some people banging. There's always somebody doing good. Shop's doing okay. We're not closing. We're doing good. Not as good as I want to do. I always want to make 10% more than I did the year before. That's my growth goals, and we're not going to achieve that this year. I can see pretty early that we're going to probably make the same money we did last year. Whatever. No big deal. Anyways, some of the things I did realize, though, was this guy's talking to me, and he's like, well, you're doing all this, you're doing all that. I'm like, well, everybody's got to pay their taxes, and that's 30-40% of your money. Unless you become an S corp, and you become an S corp, that's great. I recommend every tattoo artist become an S corp, become a small S corp. It'll save you thousands of dollars in taxes. Gives you a lot of tax write-offs. It's a super good idea. Don't believe me? Talk to a CPA. I always recommend. I am not a tax accountant. I do drawing. I color on people. I am that guy. So I'll get back to my job, which is talking about the industry. So a lot of things have changed, and it's really slowed down a lot. People aren't getting $1,200 checks and all that stuff. So now they're paying for tattoos again out of their own pocket, and there wasn't a lot of tax money this year. So that means there wasn't a great tax season, which means it's been pretty slow. Then people don't realize that we pay for all our supplies out of pocket, and a busy tattoo artist is going to spend $100 to $200 weekly on supplies if they're buying really good stuff. If you're not buying super good stuff and you're kind of, you're a little more frugal and you look really good, you might get that down to about $100 a week if you're busy. I'm talking busy person putting out, 3-4 tattoos a day if they're small, one large tattoo. So we want to do one large tattoo or a few small ones per day, to stay busy and make a decent living. Tattoo artists on average, be real about it, make about $40,000, maybe $60,000 gross. No dental, no health, no benefits, no money to put into the stock market. That is a $40,000 to maybe $50,000 a year growth. And that's a really good tattoo artist that get a really good built clientele. And you peak at 10 to 15 years, and then you start outgrowing the clientele that's going to start coming to you. People want to come to a young, fresh, growing artist that's a rising, the next generation. They don't want to go to the dude that's beaten and tired and getting old and grumpy. The experience doesn't always pay for the dreams of what people want. Some people just want to go to who's the dude on the internet, which is fine. That's why I'm the dude on the internet. Come to me. I got another 20 years of tattooing in me. I'm a young buck. 20 years deep, but still a young buck. I drink a lot of caffeine. Don't worry about that. But anyways, those taxes and those supplies and stuff bring those $40,000 and $30,000 and $40,000, a year down quite a bit. If you say casually $100 a week in supplies is that $5,000 in supplies. So say you made $30,000, $40,000. Well, take $5,000 from the top, and that's not before the government gets hold of their money, and they're going to want 10 to 20% of your income. Straight up, they just want it. So say you made $40,000, you got to give up $20,000 or 20% of that, which comes out to roughly $8,000. Then you got $5,000 in supplies. So now your math's starting to get a little bit funky. So now you got $8,000 going to the government roughly and $5,000 in supplies. Once again, that's a conservative number on supplies. You got to get tattoo machines, inks, stuff like that. And yes, I get it. The tattoo machines don't run out every year, but they do need to be like redone every single year. You send them out for maintenance, and that's a yearly cost of a couple $100 every time. And then if something breaks, once again, like I had a battery go bad, I'm sending the battery out to get fixed. It's going to cost me not as much as a brand new battery, but a repair cost nonetheless. The costs are still there. You know, you take $13,000 off of 40. I know I got there the long route. You're really looking at $27,000. And that's if you're conservative with your supplies, and that's if you're making good money as a tattoo artist. You're probably going to end up paying that amount in the supply cost almost no matter what. You know, you got to incorporate, you got to do a lot of other things. So, you know, expect about $13,000 in operating cost as a tattoo artist every single year, just as a standard expense, and it will make your life quite a bit easier. But, you know, if you're making that $25,000 or whatever, you know, I think they say tattoo artists start at $15,000 to $20,000 a year. $20,000 means $4,000 in taxes plus about, say, $4,000 in supplies will save you a little bit knowing you're slower. Actually, your first years of tattooing are the most expensive for supplies. So your first year is going to be rough. You're really going to lose a lot of money your first year of tattooing. Just supplies, you're going to be hemorrhaging. You're definitely $2,000, $3,000 in extra supplies, getting all the shit you didn't have in the first place, like ink and all that. So your first year of tattooing, I would say you're probably losing $4,000 in taxes and maybe $7,000 in supplies, $11,000 your first year of operation to be a steady tattoo artist in a shop. I don't know. I mean, it's super expensive to be a tattoo artist, and really, to be honest with you, just trying to give you guys some good advice. I don't discourage anyone from becoming a tattoo artist, but I don't think it's the gold mine that everybody promises. We are not millionaires. A lot of people are just trying not to pull their own teeth out for dental work. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's tattoo artists always marry nurses or somebody in the medical field or somebody with like, what do they call it? I'm so unfamiliar. I don't even know the name of it. It's benefits. Yeah. Tattoo artists always marry somebody with benefits. So definitely keep those things in mind. If you're going to be a tattoo artist, look for somebody with benefits. They're going to help you out a lot. Maybe consider Roth IRAs and some way to save and put some money aside for your future. But remember, you definitely need to take 20% of your money straight up, maybe 25% of your money straight up for taxes and operational costs off the top. Do not fall behind on that stuff. The government will get their money one way or another.